What's up? Welcome to the live show. We've got some different things. We got some different things going on right about now. I've been working on getting this live show up and running with a new piece of equipment. It's the Rodecaster Pro. If you guys can see right over here, it's an audio interface for podcasting, and it's pretty nice. We can put our intro music on there, and all kinds of different sounds and things like that. But today, mainly, I want to have this be a test. We're gonna hang out, chat a little bit. Today, I wanted to kind of prompt you guys to get in here and, be interactive. I think it would be pretty awesome. So today, what I wanted to say was, maybe we could all talk about things that we all wished that we knew before we started our channel. I think that information, any kind of information that we could tell to other people about the things that we wish we knew, the things that we know now that are making our lives easier on YouTube, is beneficial to everybody. So I think that would be awesome. So if you guys want to get up there in the chat, and you can type some stuff, and then later on today, what I'm going to try and do is take some live calls. This thing is enabled with some Bluetooth, and soon I will go ahead and I'll put the number that you guys could call right there, and you'll be involved right in the show. So I think it would be awesome. You guys can give us some advice on things that you wish you knew when you were starting your channel, and then, of course, you can plug your channel for participating. That would be pretty sweet. But I'm going to kick it off, and I'm going to talk about a few things that I wish I knew whenever I was starting my channel. One of the biggest things was, I guess, the importance of putting, your keywords into titles and descriptions. I really had no idea. I kind of was thinking like, if the content is meaningful enough or if it's funny enough, because when I started this channel, I started out scaring my girlfriend with an air horn. But I figured if the content was funny enough, then of course people would want to watch it. I mean, why wouldn't they? But I didn't realize, how important it was to really get those keywords into your titles, into the description, and then make a really good list of keywords. Pranks at that time, and at this time even, are pretty tough to rank in unless, it goes viral and, it's very funny or very original. So you have to really do your due diligence for real. You have to go out there and you have to really search for keywords. Now, there's definitely some tools out there that'll help you do it. TubeBuddy is one of my favorites. I use it all the time. I've been using TubeBuddy since I really started taking YouTube seriously. It's very good. It helps you out with keywords. It'll suggest keywords. It'll show you, analytically what, where those keywords have been popular in history and, things like that. It'll give you suggestions to use good keywords. Another one is Vid Iq. Now that one costs a little bit of money. It's pretty expensive. I think it's like $40 a month or something like that. And well, I don't know. I'm not sure that anybody wants to pay $40 a month. So but they do have very good, you know, they suggest keywords. And, you know, it's kind of like anything else. If you really want to get into it and you really want to take it seriously, then, you know, maybe you should invest time, money, effort into it. It's just like anything else. If you go at it half-assed, you're going to get half-assed results. So maybe you do want to use Vid Iq. Who knows? Let me take a drink of water here. So I'd like to see if there's any of you guys up there in the chat. I see there's a few of you guys watching. You're jumping in. I'm going to throw out a nice hello into the chat there. And, you know, maybe you guys can tell me a little bit about, you know, things that you wish you knew when you were starting your YouTube channel. There's a lot. You know, I just got a suggestion the other day. There was a video that I did a few months ago. It was about Fiverr and how I used Fiverr to promote one or two of my videos. And, you know, the results were okay. It really didn't do much, and I really wasn't expecting it to. I didn't want the video to, like, go viral or anything like that. It's not what I was trying to do. But the gentleman just said, you know, have you ever just actually tried to use Google Ads? And it occurred to me that I'd never even thought about it. Now, that's absurd because, I mean, he's completely right. You go straight to the source. You know, YouTube, Google, same company. I've always gone ahead and ran some ads on Facebook or Instagram, things like that, but I've never went ahead and just did straight up Google ads. Genius. Is it worth it? Sure. It's absolutely worth a shot. I mean, it makes sense. So if you want to spread the message about a video, if you're doing a video that, you know, is a little bit more involved, maybe you're shooting a short film or something like that, or a video with a meaningful message, then yeah, share it. You know, get it out there. That's what social media is all about. Another thing that I wish I knew is that, you know, with just a little bit of care, a little bit of, you know, thinking, you can really up the quality of a video just by shooting in the right light, maybe shooting next to a window. Maybe that involves turning on your neutral density filter when you're outside. Lighting, you know, cheap lighting, whatever. Maybe you shine a nice light through a shower curtain and diffuse the light. And that way everything is nice and soft on your face and there's not harsh shadows. Those are things that I think I wish that... Now, I've been in the film game for a long time. Like, that's my job. That's been my job for like 13, going on 14 years. So I knew that lighting and all of that was necessary to make a shot look good. But I think where I separated things was, you know, this is just YouTube. So I think like I can go without lighting and go without neutral density or go without diffusing light and blah, blah, blah. And that's really not the case. Like, you don't want to do that, especially, you know, if video is your job for a living. You know, you want to represent yourself in the best light possible. No pun intended. But, you know, you really do kind of want to get creative with your, you know, with boosting your quality. You definitely want to make your quality the best, you know, that you possibly can. And if that means standing next to a window because you can't afford lights, then that means standing next to a window instead of, you know, maybe back there in the corner in shadow. So do different things to, you know, play with your quality. See what happens, and, you know, your audience will jump in and they'll say like, oh man, I really liked your new setting. I really liked how you were brighter this past video, or something like that. And at that point, you know, they're going to kind of tell you what they like, and then you can decide to follow that, mimic it, or go back to doing what you were doing. Um, Obviously, it'd be good to take the advice of your audience. Some other things that I kind of wish I would have known was kind of getting to the point in a video. As far as content goes, you kind of want to get to the point. A lot of people, and I've had this discussion with clients a million times, like the clients from my business. When we're talking about making videos for their companies, we're sitting and we're chatting and we're talking, and I have to let them know that people's attention span is getting shorter and shorter by the day. I mean, we're talking like, YouTube was one of the first things, and it was, you could put out a video that was, an hour or something like that. You had a limit. And then slowly but surely, all these other things started popping up. Snapchat, Vine, and, all this other stuff. And now there's TikTok, and now there's Firework, and Instagram stories, and all of this stuff. And everything's limited. Everything is limited to a time period. With Vine, I don't know, you had 6 seconds or something like that. Snapchat, I think you have up to 10. Instagram stories, you got 15 seconds. So everybody's attention span, like I said, is getting shorter and shorter by the day. So what I tell the clients is, when you're editing, you have to be absolutely brutal. And, it might be a little nuance, maybe you making a joke, and it might be something that you really think is funny. But if it's not necessary, get it out of there. Take it. It's got to hit the cutting room floor, because, there might be people that are watching your videos and they're just like, all right, I don't want to hear this guy ramble. Oddly enough, one of my most popular videos was about the Sony HX80, and I filmed that video a couple years ago. Now, I just got a comment on it a few days ago, and there was a guy that said, "Nobody wants to hear the big guy rambling on and on and on." Ugh. So I understand. Sorry, dude. That's just kind of, something I wish I would have known when I started my channel. Get to the point. It's tough to build a relationship between you and your audience if you're not being genuine, or if you're not kind of telling them stories about yourself, or giving them, information about you. But they are there to watch a video about a certain topic. And until you are a household name, something like a Peter McKinnon or a Dan Mace or a Casey Neistat or someone, that popular, until you are that household name, those people are there to see what that video is about. They're not there to see you specifically. Casey Neistat could get on there and talk about, his toenails, and people would tune in only because it's Casey Neistat. So everybody else, you have to basically get to the point, tell the story about what your video is about, and, deliver some really good value. That's probably one of the most important things that I wish I would have known when I started. Other things, one of the big things I think were thinking more about the video, the content itself. I would go ahead and I would make, I would just turn the camera on and start talking. And then I would go ahead and I would run through that video, and I would start cutting pieces and, take like a 20-minute rant and turn it into like a 2 or 3 minute video. Um, from there, I learned that I would definitely be, making bullet points. Maybe in my notes app, if I'm sitting there, eating breakfast in the morning and I'm thinking about shooting a video that day, I definitely want to go ahead and, make some bullet points. Something to give me a structure to follow. Munchie, what's up? He says, how important is the mic in a video? Audio is one of the most important things you can possibly have in a video. Audio is definitely just, one of the most important things ever. Let's go back to quality. Let's talk about quality of videos. So you could have the best looking video on the planet. If it sounds like crap, no one's going to watch it. No one cares, because audio is just one of those things that's like, it has to be good or you're checking out. So as far as microphone quality goes, it's very important. There's a lot of things that you can do to improve your audio in different ways. I mean, like if you're out on the go, you have the dead cat on your mic to dampen the wind noise, or a little mic muff on a point and shoot or something like that. It's super, super important. So that was a really good question. I'm going to type that to you. Hopefully anybody else out there watching this video can go ahead and talk about things that they wish they knew when they were starting their YouTube channel. But yeah, it's definitely an important thing. When you're shooting an interview, like just recently, so I picked up I picked up the Sony FS700, and with that camera, that enabled me to film multiple audio channels. So now when I'm shooting interviews and, working with clients and things like that, I will have a shotgun mic. I'll have my Rode shotgun, over top of them, recording that. And then I will have like my Sennheiser lavalier mic attached to them as well. And I'll go ahead and I'll balance out that feed that records to 2 separate channels. And then in post, I can go ahead and choose, which one sounds a little better. If I like the room tone, I can boost that Rode mic up. If I want, a little bit more of a punchy vocal and a little less room tone, kind of almost a more filtered sound, then I would go ahead and turn that Sennheiser, the lavalier, I'd turn that up. Mustang. I have a new Canon SL2 camera. I already have an H1 zoom recorder. Would these work well together? As in connecting directly to the camera, or would a Rode VideoMic Pro or Rode Video Micro be better? Well, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I'm going to brighten this camera up a tiny bit just because I want to get this thing in a better looking place. Hold on 1 second. All right. Hopefully. There you go. All right, Mustang. So with your Canon SL2, I assume that you have a 1/4 inch, or not a 1/4 inch, I'm sorry, an 1/8 inch jack on the side, to go ahead and just run that Rode Micro straight into the camera. That's never, ever, ever a bad idea. So you're putting your good audio directly onto your video. That definitely saves you time as far as having to go sync video later in post-production or anything like that. But as we know, we've seen, I actually made a video about it not too long ago. Now you can just go ahead and select your external audio source and your video, and just hit a right click and sync footage. So it's very easy that way. Me personally, what I would do, if you have the time and if you want to go ahead and set up, something with a backup, is what I would do. So I would go ahead, I would probably go ahead and get that Rode Micro. I would put that on the camera. I would go ahead and record my audio with that. And then as a backup, if you want to catch some room tone and things like that, go ahead and put that H1 somewhere right around where you're recording. And then that way you have options. You have two different options. Maybe you could hook up the H1 to a mic stand. Something similar to this. Something that just sits right on your desk whenever you're recording, or something like that. Or, you could attach it to your camera somehow, or hold it somehow if you're out there doing that. I think that the more audio recordings that you have as backup, the better in a spot you are. I personally would, when I'm out on client shoots, I normally take the H1, I record with that, I run a few mics into the cameras, and when I get home and I'm going through in post, I have a bunch of different choices. So that would be awesome. What I want to do with the show, and what I was really excited to try out today, was taking live calls. So if anybody would want to call in, what we're going to do is we're going to give this a shot. Hopefully it works. If you want to call in, that's awesome. It might take a little bit as far as figuring out here, but I think it should be cool. Munchie, I'm a big audio guy, and I was wondering if the Blue Yeti USB microphone produces good enough audio for starting up a channel. Yes, it absolutely does. The Blue Yeti microphones are super impressive. Like, their vocal, what do you want to call it? Their audio quality of like their condenser mics and just the way that the mic is made, they're awesome. They're really, really awesome. They have a really nice, deep, bassy sound to them. I actually had not a Blue Yeti, but I had the Blue Snowball. That was my first microphone that I ever had, and that thing sounded awesome. Like, it was awesome. It was a cheap mic. I think I only paid $50 for it at Guitar Center. USB went straight into the computer, and I love that thing. It was kind of the beginning of everything. That was my first USB mic. So it was the first time that I could like talk through my computer. I was recording things. I was making goofy little rap songs and things like that. I was recording my guitar. If it was something that you would want to do and you just want to sit here and do this, that microphone would be absolutely perfect. I think that you would really enjoy that Blue Yeti for sure. So if anybody wants to call in, like I said, there's that number right down there. I picked up a Google Voice number specifically for these live shows. I've had this, I ordered the Rodecaster Pro here, back in April. And I've been working with it and learning it, the ins and outs, and trying to do everything I can to really learn how to use this piece of equipment. And I want to, use it, for a project that I'm going to be doing kind of outside of YouTube, but I wanted to use it for YouTube as well because I knew that there was a way to go ahead and run this thing as an audio source for a live show. And it's pretty cool. Like I said, we're able to take calls. It runs a Bluetooth straight to a phone, which is pretty sweet. It's hold on a second. We got another question here. Sebastian, for starting a tech YouTube channel, should I use my iPhone 7 Plus or buy a Canon M50 or a Sony HX80? If you're just starting and you're not 100% sure that you're going to be into it, I suggest maybe starting with your iPhone 7. Doing it. Do you like it? Is it fun? And if you're having fun, then I would say go and invest in your channel. And if that means that you're going to go and buy the M50 or the HX80 or something like that, then go for it. I think that honestly, it's just a it's a thing. I mean, like if it's like a bike. All right, so like I told my girlfriend, my fiance, I got engaged this week. If you guys didn't know about that, so I was talking to my fiance, and I told her that I wanted to buy a bike. And just like any other piece of exercise equipment, I tend to be real into it for about 2 weeks, and then that bike goes and sits in the garage. Well, this time I did the damn thing. I bought a bike, and I didn't buy the best bike that you could buy. There were bikes for $400, $500, $1,000, $2,000, and I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I went to Walmart and I bought a good bike for like $170, and I just wanted to see that I was interested in it before I went ahead and invested into that more heavily. So that's what I would say. Start with your phone, and if you like it, go buy yourself a camera. Mustang sounds like a good plan. I do currently record onboard sound with the HX80 and separately on the H1. Sync it after. I would love to stay, but I'm working. I'll catch a show tomorrow. All right, buddy. Take it easy, man. Thank you for jumping in. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the questions. You're a great inspiration. This is things you might see in. I will never be like you. LOL. I'm 72 years old. Just started my channel for fun to post some events, and I'm not good at documentaries. Well, it is a lot of fun just to jump in and have fun. So you already crossed that one barrier, and that was starting a channel. You did it. Congratulations. Now have fun with it. Get out there and do your thing. You want to do a live show? Go grab yourself a webcam. Hang out, have fun, talk about things that you like, and ask people to participate. And people are into it. People do it. Continuing, so it's just video and music. I'm not looking to earn any money from it. Just keeps me busy in my retirement. I have an old Canon DSLR and no video, I have an old Canon DSLR, no video, and a Canon camcorder. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, if you're just like looking to have fun, it's anything. I mean, one thing that I think that I've really realized in the last few years is just that how important happiness really is. And, me starting my business and running my own business as opposed to, schlepping away over at a different company for different people and making them all the money and screwing myself out of it. I think that makes me happier. It really does. And, to find something that you like to do, if it's making, music and having fun and doing your channel, posting events or doing whatever, I think it's pretty awesome. You'll find a bunch of people that are into the same thing you're into. The world is a big place. So that's pretty sweet. Congratulations all around. Thank you guys very much. It's very exciting. If you guys haven't seen my fiance, such a hilarious word. If you guys haven't seen Jessie in any of the videos, she's in a bunch of them back in the beginning, and in some of the travel videos more recently. She's a good time. Jess is an awesome person. Deeply, deeply in love with her and happy that we decided to take this next step. So it's very, very exciting. Very happy. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Things you might see in. I love your B-roll. Can that be done with a camcorder? Yes. Short answer, absolutely. So to me, B-roll really just is nothing more than you putting together your story visually. Okay, so you've got your story, you have your audio, and if I'm sitting here telling you a story about how I took my dog to the dog park for a walk on a Sunday afternoon in the middle of a rainstorm, it could be a very funny story if I just sat here and told it to you, but it would be way more impactful if we were to take and shoot some of those scenes and visually represent that. Now, I know that you probably know exactly what B-roll is, but just in case there's other people in here that don't know what B-roll is, there's the short explanation. If you had a Canon, you've got your Canon camcorder there, what you can do is, it's going to be a little different because with today's DSLRs, you have external lenses, you have, you have some, what do I want to say? You definitely have an advantage if you're working, with a camera that accepts different lenses and things like that. You can play with depth of field and all kinds of things. With a camcorder, I assume there's a fixed lens on that, which is just like an iPhone, you could absolutely do it. If you're closer to a subject, with those fixed lens cameras, they tend to focus on your subject, and that'll help you, get that depth of field. So if you put your camera just a little bit closer to your subject than you normally would, you don't necessarily have your focus ring to play with, but your camera will kind of do the depth of field that you need to really kind of make a cinematic looking B-roll. So if you were to just focus on, let's go back to the egg video, the video that I made of making eggs. If you, were to put the lens of that camera close to that carton of eggs or whatever, it's going to definitely try and focus on the eggs. What you need to do is just keep backing up or moving a little forward to find right where the focal limit is, so it'll give you some good focus, and then everything else hopefully would be out of focus. The biggest thing that I would say as far as shooting B-roll, if you're interested and if you're looking for something to do, something to take up your time in your retirement and things like that, check it out. Just try it. Go out there, grab your camcorder and get out there and try and shoot B-roll. You can do some practice, and I think that would be awesome. Munchie, would B-roll work on an iPhone 7? Absolutely. You could absolutely shoot B-roll on an iPhone. There's plenty of videos that I've done. If you go back into my channel, you can see I went to Los Angeles last year, and the only camera that I took was my iPhone. I wanted, because it was like LA, and I was out there and I was like, oh my gosh, it's LA. I wanted to take all my cameras. I wanted to take my drone. I wanted to take, my DSLR. I wanted to take my G7X. I wanted to get all of that stuff out there. And when I was packing my bag, I finally was just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm doing the whole thing. on my phone because my phone has a great camera in it. It's pretty sweet. So what I would say is same deal. Just get out there, have fun, and practice. Get up close on some things. Like if you're filming, I don't know, let's just say this microphone right here. Do different movements. You know what I mean? I tend to kind of go circular around things so you get a really good look, and you can speed ramp some stuff. So if you want to start slow over here and then speed it up and then slow back down over on this side. So, kind of something like that. Get tons of different interesting shots when you're shooting B-roll. B-roll isn't only close-ups. A lot of people kind of make that mistake, myself included. You need to get establishing shots. Those are wide shots. If you were out, I don't know, let's say taking a hike through the woods, some of your first couple shots in that video really should be you showing the vast surrounding. Those are establishing shots. That kind of sets up the story, and then you can go in and crop in on those details, like you walking through a rain puddle, or leaves falling, or leaves blowing in the wind, or raindrops on leaves or rocks, or blah blah blah. That's kind of how you want to do that. So make sure you're just getting tons of different shots when you're out there shooting B-roll. Things you might see in. I do have an Android phone. Maybe that would be better than the camcorder. Absolutely. It could work as well, and it's more mobile. To be honest, if I don't know what kind of Canon camcorder that you're talking about, but you have to carry probably a couple batteries, probably in a case, because those things they're expensive. So you don't want to drop it. You got to protect it. If you're out walking around, taking a hike or something like that, you'd want to bring a case and extra battery so you don't run out of power, all of that stuff. Maybe it is worth exploring, shooting on the Android. I would definitely do that. When I go out and make my videos, it's super funny because sometimes I'll pull out my phone and I'll start shooting on my phone. And people that I'm with, whether it's Jesse or one of my friends or something like that, they're like, yo, you got like 5 cameras in that bag. Why are you using your phone? And a lot of the times, A, it's for convenience. B, they're great. These cameras are intense. I mean, these things shoot in 4K. They shoot in 240 frames per second. They're just they're awesome. They're great. It's a handy tool. It's crazy. We're carrying around goddamn computers in our pockets. That's pretty awesome. So I would definitely switch it up. Do whatever you want to do. If you want to take your camcorder out, go for it. If you want to check it out, try on your phone, do that. One thing that I notice when I do shoot with my phone is that I tend to get really obsessed with my focus. So, because on iPhones, it just seems that focus doesn't lock very easily. So there are tricks that you can do. If you're on a subject, you can actually push and hold, and it'll lock your focus so you don't go out of focus. Do you need special equipment to do live editing or a certain platform? Special equipment to do live editing. So live editing, I'm not 100% sure what you mean by live editing. If you're talking about like a show like this, like a live show like this, and maybe we talk about switching cameras, that the program that I use for this is called Ecamm Live. I have that program running my webcam And then what I have, in addition to that, is this podcast board here. And that I got just because I really want the audio to be, you know, well taken care of. I think that I'm really kind of practicing here for another project that I have going on. And I really am enjoying doing this so far and learning the ins and outs of this board. Um, it's a Canon Vixia HR70 camcorder, not much bigger than your hand. Oh, okay, so it's like a little handy cam or a Sony handy cam or something like that. Yeah, I mean, the key to shooting really good B-roll, to me, you don't have to shoot it in slow motion. So you don't necessarily have to shoot in 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second or anything like that. The key to good B-roll, in my opinion, is just getting a variety of shots, telling a visual story of where you're at or what you're talking about, and smooth, calculated movements. If you're smoothly moving, then your stuff's gonna look awesome. If you're kind of bouncing around and your camera's kind of like bouncing up and down, that's no good. Nobody wants to see that. That's just not good. So as long as you're doing some like really smooth, calculated movements, maybe doing some reveals from, I don't know, behind a tree to see this vast forest that you're hiking through or something like that. And it's pretty awesome because if that camera is that small, if it has the hand strap on the side, everyone always holds that like this and then puts it up to their face like this. What you can do is actually flip that camera upside down and put your hand upside down and use it more like this. And you can get sweeping low shots. You can flip that screen out and look at it from down below. If you build your body almost into a tripod, you kind of spread your legs and put that camera down low and you just kind of swing. You kind of swing back and forth and you'll get some really awesome, like smooth shots, just going handheld. That's a lot. I use my camera like that all the time. So it's pretty cool. I'm surprised none of you guys have called in yet. Is the number there? Are we there? Right there. I'm actually really excited to give this Bluetooth thing a shot. It's pretty awesome. What kind of projects are you guys working on? I'm very interested to know anything that you guys have going on there. Me right now, I tried to tell all of you in the last video that I made that I am not dead. I am in fact just super busy. It's awesome and I really, really love making the YouTube videos. It's just, with the business and things like that, can't always do it. You just gotta keep pounding out the work and doing all of that stuff. So it's very it's time consuming because I get to a point where I want to make things as as good as I possibly can, and that takes time. So whenever I'm making a video or something like that, I think to myself, all right, well, next time maybe I'll go out and I'll film like some really cool B-roll and I'll get this and I'll do that. But right now, let me just do like a talking head kind of like update video or something like that. And, it's tough because I want to get out there and I want to interact with you guys and I want to make these videos and do all that good stuff. But, you just don't have the time all the time. Thanks, Jordan. You've answered my questions. I'll practice and practice from now on. Awesome. That's perfect. That's all you got to do. You just got to practice. It really is a thing. Shooting B-roll to me is almost in terms, it's almost the same to me as like meditation. I love shooting B-roll. I can relax very well when I'm shooting B-roll. It's great. Let me open this window. This camera's getting a little dark. There we go. That looks better. So like I said, kind of earlier in the video, if you just need to open a window to get some light in, got to do it. But yeah, like I said, it's just practice. Practice makes perfect. It really does apply to this situation as well. It's like I said, it's like a meditation. I love it. I sit there and I get as many shots as I can, different angles, and I try to be just very calculated, very artistic, very creative, all of that. So have fun with it. It's the funnest thing in the world to me. I love it. Munchie, what would be a good editing platform for mobile? So I'm not 100% sure. There's one called Splice. You can edit on Splice, and I heard that's really good. I have used iMovie on my phone. I believe you have, an iPhone 7. Maybe, if iMovie maybe isn't for you, you could always try Premiere Rush. I believe it's called Rush. Premiere Rush is a mobile app. I'm pretty sure you can use an iPad or a phone or something like that. And it's kind of almost like a truncated version of Premiere. And it is supposed to really kind of streamline the editing and posting process. You can go through, film on that app or whatever, film on your camera, pump all that footage right into Adobe Rush, I believe it's called. If it's not Adobe Rush, sorry, I feel like a jerk saying the wrong thing, but I'm almost 100% sure that's what it's called. And then from there, you can just go ahead and edit. I heard that you can add transitions, add different music, edit, your video, and pump out a final. And straight from there, I heard that you can also just upload it to multiple platforms at one time. So if you wanted to share to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, then I believe that you can do it with just one button to share to all of your different places at the same time. So it's pretty sweet. I don't know what it costs. I'm not 100% sure, but if you're looking for free, I would check out that Splice that I was talking about. And if you want something that definitely can do the job, something really, really good, I would try that Adobe Premiere Rush or whatever it's called. So let me actually just look it up because I hate sending, crappy information. Let's see. It is, in fact, called Adobe Premiere Rush. So if you want to give that a shot, go for it. It's pretty awesome. All right. I got to go for now. Good night, everyone. Jordan, it was great to hear from you again. Talk to you later. We will talk to you later. Thank you very much for jumping in and being so interactive in the show. I really appreciate it. I hope you get out there and have fun shooting your B-roll. And good luck with your channel. Any of you guys out there who came for the live show, I'd really like to hear about things that you wish you knew when you started your YouTube channel. Things that, any advice that you could give that could help people out. Maybe it's something as simple as, hey, I wish that I would have known that my audience stays up a little later and watches videos. So, because that's when I would upload. Or, hey, I wish I would have known that, you could film next to a window and get better light. Or, hey, I wish I would have known, if I use this keyword a certain amount of times, I'll rank higher in this, or how you got your keywords, something like that. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some advice from you guys to, let's all just sit there and share. A little earlier, I went ahead and talked about the things that I wish I knew, and that was definitely keywords and titling, descriptions, things like that. Taking advantage of things like cards and end screen, things like that. Munchie, thanks, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys getting involved with the show. It's a very awesome thing. I love doing these live shows because it just, like I said, I'm busy. I got work to focus on and things like that. And definitely, we have two boys that, they like to hang out and have fun and things like that. So it's, it's not always as easy as just setting up the camera and shooting a video and going out and blowing out a ton of B-roll and then editing for like the next 3 or 4 hours and things like that. So these live shows are really awesome because I get to go and just talk straight to you guys. It's fun. There's no editing involved. Can't really beat that. That's pretty awesome. But it's pretty sweet. I mean, I'm always up for, answering questions or anything like that. And, that's what we're doing. But I definitely do, by the end of the show, I'd like to hear if any of you guys, have any advice for anybody else, things that you wish you knew when you were starting your channel. Like, did you know that it was going to be as hard as it is? Did you know that, you'd spend 5 or 6 hours, shooting a video for only, who knows, maybe 5 people to watch it in 5 days? Like, did you know that was going to happen? Or were you kind of like me and you were like, oh shit, well, I make videos for a living. This is going to be a piece of cake. I'm going to shoot videos and I'm going to put them up, and, the content's just it's going to be awesome. Everyone's going to be like, hell yeah, I love this dude's videos, and boom. That's what it was, Munchie, I've learned more from you than those dudes with like 5 million subs. It's honestly, I think that, those guys, a lot of them do have, a lot of them do have some, pretty good info. I appreciate you saying that. But I also think that, they're on a schedule. They have a schedule, and they have to pump out a video every day. That's their job. So, a video, I guess, that I was, let's say, disappointed in. Yay, give me wave. Hi. So one of the videos that I was disappointed in, it wasn't recently, but it was Peter McKinnon and Chris Howell, I think his name is, Hau or something. Or yeah, Chris Howell and Peter McKinnon. And they were sitting there talking about how to make $1,500, in a week with your photography, or $1,500 a day with your photography or video. And I'm thinking, well, at the beginning of this video, these are 2 dudes that like really hustle and do all of that awesome stuff. But they were just saying things that like everyone kind of already knows. It's like, yo, BJ, I love to watch you grow, brother. Thanks, dude. BJ, Rob Bollinger there in the comments, was just at my house last night. We may have had a few beers, and I might be a little hungover right now because of him. It was good to see you, dude. Yeah, so I don't even know where it was at. I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, those dudes, they're sitting there and they're just like, yo, man, you can shoot stock photography. You can make $300 shooting stock photography. No, you can't. You can't do that in 1 week. There's no way that you're just going to go shoot, put up an image, sell it on like Adobe stock, and make $300 on that photo in like that day. It's not happening. Yes, there is a way to go ahead and make money shooting stock photography and things like that, but it takes time. And you might have one photo that you shot 10 years ago that has, over a 10-year period, garnered you $20,000 or something like that. It's shit like that. So while they do have good information and I enjoy what they're saying, I also am just kind of like, I know you guys have a job to do and you got videos to pump out. So they're just going to kind of be like, hey, how can you make $1,500 this week with your photography? And it's just going to be all the lamest bullshit answers. How do you make $1,500 with photography in 1 week? You go out and you hustle your balls off. That's how you really do it. You go out, you call people, and you say, hey, I have an idea. You have a business, and I have an idea. What we can do is XYZ. We can shoot a video for your business. We can take marketing images for your business, for social media, for Instagram, for LinkedIn, for Facebook, for anything that you are going out to advertise on. You start getting people excited about an idea, they book you, you go out and shoot. That's how you make $1,500 fucking dollars. Not shooting stock photography, not shooting pictures of a Lego on a fucking white background. So yeah, I was a little disappointed with that video. Yeah, give me a wave. I recently started watching your videos because of the HX80. How do you use the 4K image PB thingy? 4K. How do you use the 4K image PB thingy? On the HX80, the 4K is it basically it just shoots photos in a 4K resolution. They are pretty nice photos. Yeet. Did you just say yeet? I just learned what yeet meant last night. Myself and Rob Bollinger here in the comments, we were actually just talking about that. We have no idea exactly what yeet means, but I've heard that word plenty of times over the last 24 hours. It shoots 4K images, which are pretty awesome. They are pretty high resolution for a little point and shoot camera like that. What you would do, I don't have the camera with me right now. The battery's probably not charged, but what you could do, or what you probably do with that, is go into your menu and settings and go down through the list and see where you would update that quality for your images or whatever. LOL, how do you turn it on? It doesn't allow me to turn it on. You might have to be in a certain setting. I don't know if you have to be in manual. I don't know if you can do it in auto or the like the A or P setting. I'm not sure if you can do it in aperture priority or what. Try it in different modes. Switch your modes from like manual, to different settings and things like that, and it might help you out. If not, I will once I get that battery charged or something, I'll turn it on and I'll get back to you if that doesn't work. Oh, we've got lots of people going yeet now. All right. It's good stuff. Anybody going to tell me what the fuck it means? That would be awesome. What we decided was that it kind of meant like awesome. I don't know. Yeah. Well, you're welcome. Yeah, do that. Go ahead, shoot me a DM, and then that way, going yeet again. All right, you're happy on the eat. Yeah, DM me, shoot me a message, and I'll go ahead and I'll throw that camera on charge tonight, just so I can wake up tomorrow and mess with it. But yeah. BJ, yeet is the new thing. Dude, we got to figure out what it means and we got to use it appropriately. And I think that we will. The yeet definition is motherfucking yeet itself. All right. Now it's time to goddamn Google this. What the hell? Googling. All right. Yeet is an exclamation of excitement, approval, surprise, or all-around energy, often as issued when doing a dance move or throwing something. Gotcha. All right. So it's basically like adding an exclamation point to something, just saying the word. Whoa. Deep dabs. Okay. All right. Well, what I wanted to do today was talk about things that you wish you knew when you started your YouTube channel, or things that, that you want to know because you are starting your YouTube channel. But we kind of went a little off track, which is awesome. And I do appreciate everybody that was hanging out. We did go for an hour at this point, which is pretty intense. Eat Simba off the cliff. Aw, come on. Simba didn't do anything. All of that is, belongs to young Simba, except for the areas in shadow, they say. So if anybody's got anything more to add, or if anybody actually wants to call in and try the live, anyone, then oh man, why is this? I think that the super chat thinks yay, give me wave. I think that the super chat thinks you're spamming, because it just told me that I had to approve your comments. Why in the hell did my camera change? Oh my gosh. Well, one of my cameras went down. This sucks. Alright. Well, I am thoroughly annoyed at this point. Huh. Well, this sucks. Camera went down. This back up. Oh, man. Not cool. Wow. All my drives are like dropping out. That sucks. All right. Well, does anybody have any of the any advice for anyone that is starting a channel or anything like that? All of my drives, oddly enough, are like dropping off one by one. Now my live stream, the stream itself is not good. It says you guys are going to experience buffering and all of that stuff, and that's no fun. So basically what I'm going to do is, we had a pretty good solid hour right there, and I'd really like to do this again. I will let you know. How do I stay relevant? It's so hard. Dude, no kidding. Like I said, man, I really just it's really hard to keep up with making videos all of the time, unless you're being paid to be a full-time YouTuber, which I am not. Then it's real tough to dedicate a bunch of time to it. Those guys out there that are doing it, that are making money, God bless them. It's tough. I make a couple bucks from YouTube every month, a couple $100, and it's nice. It helps buy the groceries or something like that, or maybe me and my lady can go out for dinner or something. But yeah, staying relevant it's tough. I mean, you hope that you built a good, relationship with your audience over the years of doing it. And as technology gets better and as cameras get better or something, or I pick up better equipment, then, I tell you guys, and, those of you who are interested, you guys are the ones who will keep me relevant. That's kind of how it is. You gotta, these shows right here, I think are really important because you get to talk to your audience. You figure out what people want. I definitely love when people are like, hey man, can you do a video about XYZ? Can you do a video about how to fly a drone? Can you do a video about how to get cool B-roll of a hike or a bike ride or blah, 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 blah? It's very cool. Then I'll go out and do that. And that's what you call in the marketing world or advertising world. That's a hot lead. I know that you want to see that video because you asked for it. So I'm going to film it. You know what I mean? That's kind of almost guaranteed that it's going to do, semi-decent. Super hard just to stay relevant. I love your video quality. It's so good. I really do appreciate that. It's, the big thing with video quality is, lighting. Lighting is good right now. I was kind of going by daylight. So the only thing that's lighting me right now is my computer screen. I'm not a huge fan of the lighting right now, but it seems to be working as far as a live show goes. But, when you're out shooting videos and you're doing things like vlogging or shooting B-roll, things like that, you definitely, you break out the big guns and you really start to get creative and you do everything you can just to, make it look as good as possible. And then once you have it into your editing program, then it's time to color correct. And it's really time to knock it out of the park. That's where you're talking video quality. You can increase your saturation or your colors or anything like that. And, boost that sharpness and stuff. BJ, do you think you'll do more projects or series outside of photography in the future? Because you've got some awesome hobbies. It's kind of funny. My hobbies are kind of what I do for work. So I'm always playing with cameras. That's kind of how I can justify buying myself toys, like new cameras and stuff like that. Because yes, it's a hobby, but it's also my job. So it's pretty fun. Yeah, I have an idea that I'm going to be using this here podcast board for. And it's going to be pretty sweet. I think I'm going to try to involve my local community, get people excited about different things. BJ, I think you and I started to talk about it last night, right before you guys left. But we'll talk more about that. Yeah, give me away. Can you do a video on how you edit your videos? I can definitely do that. The thing with doing a topic that is kind of that long is it gets boring. This video is probably going to be like 15, 20 minutes. And, it's going to be me sitting there showing you guys how I line up clips and stuff like that or make cuts. So if you're talking more specifically about how to do a certain thing or, maybe make certain cuts or do things like that. I mean, like how I edit my videos, I guess kind of like my flow. If that's what you want to see, if you want to see my flow, absolutely, I can do a video on that and try and make it as interesting as possible. So, all right. Well, we've been going for about an hour and 10 minutes right now. I think that I'm going to call this one. The stream health is still pretty goddamn bad. So I'm going to go ahead and end it on that. I appreciate you guys jumping into the show. I want to do more of these live shows. I think it's super fun. Like I said, you can get out there and stay relevant and answer some questions, get to know what your audience likes, and not have to edit. So, very cool. Oh, you just saw the engagement video on Instagram. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That was done in Jordan and Jesse true fashion. I don't think either one of us would have enjoyed it as much had it been some mushy romantic bullshit. That's kind of what we do. We scare each other. She just got me today. She caught me sleeping on the couch and scared the living shit out of me. So good for her. But like I said, the beginning of this whole YouTube channel was me scaring her with an air horn. So that's what we've been doing. That's how we like to have fun. So, but I appreciate you guys. I will definitely try to do more of these live shows. And if you guys get more involved in these shows, man, I'm super happy. I love the engagement that we had today. Thank you guys very much. We will talk to you later. Pretty from the minute that I met you. Smoking.